Learning Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah, Perek Vav, Halacha Aleph. Perek Vav. Kol ha'ma'avet Shem and Hashem ha'kadoshim ha'to'erim. Somebody who destroys one of the holy names, shenikra b'hem ha'kadosh baruch hu loikim ha'torah, that God is called thereby, he would receive lashes. Let's go down below. Kol ha'ma'avet, whoever destroys Shem and Hashem ha'kadoshim ha'to'erim shenikra b'hem ha'kadosh baruch hu. A name of the holy names that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was called with them. Loikim HaTorah, he receives Malchus in HaTorah. That's the way of the Rambam in every place to tell you at the beginning of the Halacha, the mitzvah he's discussing. The Rambam continues, it says, you shall make the name destroyed or lost from that place. But you are not permitted to do so to Hashem. The sources in the Gemara, in Makis and Menachos. There it says that if you destroy one of the shemas of Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you're liable for Malchus, because you transgress on the transgression in the negative prohibition of do not do so to Hashem Elokeichem. Further, we'll see that this negative commandment is only by the name of Hashem, is not only the name of Hashem, also things that are holy, like to destroy the Mizbeach, even one stone, if he's doing it for destructive purposes rather than for fixing the Mizbeach. Because the Mizbeach, if a stone, if it's chipped, you have to replace the whole section. So that would be called restorative rather than destructive. Sefer HaMitzvot Rambam writes that this lav is included within it many forbiddennesses, that we are warned from destroying and the houses of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and destroying the works of the prophets, that we should not erase the holy names, etc. And this warning, as it says, Loisasun kein Hashem Elokeichem, you shall not do so to Hashem your God. Now, a question. There's a general rule that you don't get malchus on a lav, which is a generalization. A negative prohibition that has many aspects to it. And why does the Rambam here write that you get lashes on it, even though it has many aspects? The Mari Abuav says we should, because every one of the forbiddennesses that's written in this prohibition, there is a separate warning. And you shall not do so in the plural. Therefore, you receive malchus for this lav, even though it includes many things. Now we go to Perek Vav Halacha Beis. In Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah, the Rambam says, "V'shiva shemes heim." There are 7 holy names. Hashem Anechbad Yud Kei Vav Kei. The most well-known name is that of Yud Kei Vav Kei. That if one of them will be lost, destroyed, the person doing so receives lashes. Hashem Anechbad Yud Kei Vav Kei, the ineffable name that is written with 4 letters of Yud, a Hey, a Vav, and then a Hey. Vu Hashem HaMeir. That's called the explicit name. Oya Nichtav Adne. Or if it's written Aleph, Daled, Nun, Yud. El, which is God, Eliha, Elikim, him, Velehei, Velehai, Vishadai, Tzvois. If anyone who erases even one letter from these names receives lashes, because he's destroyed the completeness of the name. The Gesed Mishnah questions, there are 8 names, not 7. For the counter, we have Yud Kei Vav Kei is 1, Adna is 2, El is 3, Laha is 4, Elikim is 5, Lekei is 6, Shaddai is 7, and Tzvois is 8. And he explains that the names that he's referring to of Havaya and Adna, they are 1, as we find in Sochem, because it's pronounced Adna. Now, when you have in mind the Shem Hashem, actually, you're supposed to think that it's the Shem Hashem, which is Adonai, the Adon HaKoil, the Master of the world, and also Yud Kei Vav Kei, which stands for Hoya Hoya V'Yiyah, past, present, and future. Now, there are other texts in the Rambam that don't bring in the name El or Elikai, and they count another name, Eya, which we find Moshe Rabbeinu was given to. And according to this text, there are 7 names that are not erased. Because the Mishnah writes that that's the correct text because El and Elikai are included in Elikai and Elikim, because they're part of the name. In other words, Eliha and Elikim are made up of El, which is Elohika or Elikim. And in opposition to this, it includes the Eloheya. But the question is, why does the Rambam have to count the name Eloha? It would seem part of Elikim. And he doesn't answer this. What the Gemara counts these names such as El, Elohecha, Elohim, Elihechem, Erik Yashe'eya, Aleph Daled, Yud Kei, Shakai Tzvois. The Mishnah explains in 2 possible explanations. Or the main name is El, the others just Elikech or Elikim, Elikechem, are forbidden because they are part of the name of El, and they just continue after it, just like the name itself, as we'll see soon in Halacha Gimel, or they are holy names in and of themselves. But according to the text of the Rambam, they're names that are holy by themselves, and not because of the additional letters that are added to them. They are names by themselves. So the question is whether Elikecho is in itself one word that's forbidden to erase, or it's just the Cho is in addition to the Shem Elikah. But according to the Rambam, they would be a holy name by themselves, and not because of the letters that are added to the Shem itself. And therefore, there's a new concept here. Elikai is not my God, but it means God who is mine. And that the Yud and the Hey that are there are both part of the Shem El. Aval Kem, Melikechem, when it says your God, certainly it's not part of the letters of the Shem, but they're added to it afterwards. What's the reason that the letters Hey Vav, Malikim are not considered added to El, since they are also letters of Shem Havaya, therefore they have their own sanctity. And what's the reason that the Oishis Hey Vav from Elikim aren't considered additional to the word El? Since they're also letters from Havaya, therefore they're holy in and of themselves. According to another text in the Rambam, you don't count the name Elikai, and then you count Havaya, but Adnas as 2, we have only 7 names. In the edition that was printed in Venezia, where it said instead of El, they count Eya. Somebody who counts these 2 names must say, like the Divrei Kesav Mishnah, that the Shem Havaya and Shem Adnas is one name. In Shuvas Mazav Binyamin, he points out that the Yud in the Shem Elikai is not from the name, but it's part of the word that's afterwards, like Elikei Hashamayim. But it's forbidden to erase the Yud because they are letters that are found after the Shem Hashem. You can't erase them. And he concludes that even according to the Kesav Mishnah, that the Yud is from part of the name. That's only that it cannot be erased, but not that you would get Malchus. The Taz disagrees, and the Yud is among the letters of the Shem, because without the Yud, it can act as part of it, because as we find Eloha Kol Nefashos, God of all the souls, which is this a noun by itself. Another a reason for the Yud is to show the greatness of the majesty of God, as we find in the Pasuk, we find when HaKadosh Baruch Hu took me out of my father's house. Rashi explains, it's a Loshen Elikim, is a Loshen Rabim. Elikus, it shows that God is God over everything. He runs everything. He rules everything. Shulchan Aruch Yodea, Reisha involved Tes. He counts the 7 names. Havaya v'Adnas is 2. El Eloha Elikim is another 3. Is 5. Shala Yitzchokos. That's 7. And they also have a text, also Erke Asher Erke. That's what the Gro points out, that you should have a text like the last one. The Kesef Mishnah writes, because the Gemara counted also the Shem Erke Asher Erke. According to this text, you don't count the name Elikah, because it's included in Elikim. Elikah is sort of a individual concept which shows the rulership, the personal rulership of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Elikim says is the overall rulership of the world. And even though the name of El is part of the Shem Elikim, that just how El is individual and Elikim is many, still it's counted as a separate name because it means strength and not. It has its own meaning, a root of strength, and not coming as a part of the word Elikim. As Lavan told Yaakov, Yesh la'el yodi, I have the strength in my hands. And then V'neu biyad el goyim. So we find Yecheskel also, the strength of the nations. Furthermore, the Gemara questions Yudke, that it's not counted. Why it doesn't it count it, which is separately? Since it's a name by itself. The Mashmos Kor is fear, and we find it in every place. Differently than Havaya, that it means, it comes to the word of being, from Hoiva, being, and that which causes all to be, to exist. And he explains that's only according to the opinion that the Shem Kor, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the entire world. Yud is the heavens, as it says in Yeshayahu, Ki b'kor Hashem tzorei lomen. That through the name Kor, God created the foundations of the world. Therefore, the Hashem Yudke is not counted as a Shem by itself among the names that are not erased. And the Targum translates Kor as fear, meaning that it is the fear of Hashem that caused the world to come into existence. But it's not the name of Hashem as a name of Hashem, it's the fear of Hashem.